Hello, everyone. My name is Sean Shepley, and I'm the director of Macbeth. This is the product of a show that was going to be done in person, but due to current COVID-19 pandemic and rising local cases, it was moved to this format that you're watching for you. While this is certainly disappointing, we are lucky to still have this opportunity to put out a product. We are also lucky because this gives us an opportunity to highlight and encourage donations to several different local theaters. I've listed a few in the description of this video, but if you can think of more, please feel free to comment. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy Macbeth.
When shall we three meet again? In thunder, lightning, or in rain?
When the hurry ball is done, when the battle's lost and won.
That will be ere the set of sun.
Where the place?
Upon the heath.
There to meet with Macbeth.
Fair is
Fair
fair.
is foul, and foul is fair.
Hover through the flood and filthy air.
What bloody man is that? He can report as seemeth by his plight the revolt, the new estate.
This is the sergeant who, like a good and hardy soldier, fought against my captivity. Hail, brave friend, say to the king the knowledge of the broil as thou didst leave it.
Doubtful it stood, as two spent swimmers that do cling together and choke their art. The merciless Macdonald, worthy to be a rebel, for to that the multiplying villainies of nature do swarm upon him. But all's too weak for brave Macbeth, well, he deserves that name, disdaining fortune with his brandished steel, which smoked with bloody execution like valor's minion, carved out his passage till he faced the slave, which ne'er shook hands nor bade him farewell, till he unseamed him from the nave to the chaps and fixed his head upon our battlements.
Oh, valiant cousin, worthy gentleman.
Mark, King of Scotland, mark. No sooner justice had with valor armed compelled these skipping kerns to trust their heels, but the Norwegian lord, surveying vantage, with furbished arms and new supplies of men, began a fresh assault.
Dismayed not this our captains Macbeth and Banquo?
Yes, as sparrows eagles, or the hare the lion, if I say sooth. I must report they were as cannons, overcharged with double cracks, so they doubly redoubled strokes upon the foe. But I am faint. My gashes cry for help.
So, well thy words become thee as thy wounds, they smack of honor both. Go, get him surgeons.
Ended.
Who comes here?
The worthy thane of Roth.
What a haste looked through his eyes! So should he look, that seems to speak things strange.
God save the king.
Whence camest thou, worthy thane?
From Fife, great king. Norway himself with terrible numbers, assisted by that most disloyal traitor, the Thane of Cawdor, began a dismal conflict, point against point rebellious, arm against arm, curbing his lavish spirit. And to conclude, the victory fell on us.
Great happiness! No more the Thane of Cawdor shall deceive our bosom interest. Go, pronounce his present death, and with his former title, greet Macbeth.
I'll see it done.
What he hath lost, noble Macbeth hath won.
A drum, Macbeth doth come.
The weird sisters hand in hand.
Posters of the sea and land.
Thus do go about.
Thrice to thine and thrice to mine.
And thrice again to make up 9.
Peace, the charms wound up.
So foul and fair a day I have not seen.
What are these? So withered and so wild in their attire. They look not like inhabitants of the earth, and yet are on it. Live you, or are you aught that man may question?
Speak, if you can. What are you?
Oh, hail Macbeth. Hail to thee, Thane of Glamis.
Oh, hail Macbeth! Hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor!
Ah, hail Macbeth, thou shalt be king hereafter.
Good sir, why do you start and seem to fear things that do sound so fair? In the name of truth, are ye fantastical, or that indeed which outwardly ye show? My noble partner you greet with present grace and great prediction of noble having and of royal hope. That seems wrapped with all. But to me you speak not. And if you can look into the seeds of time and say which grain will grow and which will not, speak then to me, who neither beg nor fear your favors nor your hate.
Hail!
Hail! Hail!
Lesser than Macbeth and greater.
Not so happy, yet much happier. Thou shalt get kings, though there be none. So all hail Macbeth and Banquo.
Banquo and Macbeth, all hail.
Stay, you imperfect speakers. Tell me more. By Sinel's death, I know I am Thane of Glamis, but how of Cawdor? The Thane of Cawdor lives, a prosperous gentleman, and to be king stands not within the prospect of belief, no more than to be Cawdor. Say from whence you owe this strange intelligence, or why upon this blasted heath you stop our way with such prophetic greeting. Speak, I charge you.
The earth hath bubbles as the water has, and these are of them. Whither are they vanished?
Into the air. And what seemed corporal melted as breath into the wind. Would they had stayed?
Such things here as we do speak about, or have we eaten on the insane root that takes the reason prisoner?
Your children shall be kings.
You shall be king.
And Thane of Cawdor too, went it not so?
To the self-same tune and words. Who's here?
The king hath happily received, Macbeth, the news of thy success, and for an earnest of greater honor he bade me from him call thee Thane of Cawdor, in which addition hail most
Can the devil speak true?
The Thane of Cawdor lives. Why do you dress me in borrowed robes?
Who was the Thane lives yet, but under heavy judgment bears that life, which he deserves to lose.
Glamis and Thane of Cawdor. The greatest is behind. Thanks for your pains. Do you not hope your children shall be kings, when those that gave the Thane of Cawdor to me promise no less to them?
That trusted home might yet enkindle you into the crown, besides Thane of Cawdor. But 'tis strange, and oftentimes to win us our harm, the instruments of darkness tell us truths. They win us with honest trifles, to betray us in deepest consequence. Cousins, a word, I pray you.
Two truths are told, as happy prolongs to the swelling act of the imperial theme. I thank you, gentlemen. Cannot be ill, cannot be good. If ill, why hath it given me earnest of success, commencing in truth? I am Thane of Cawdor. If good, why do I yield to that suggestion whose horrid image doth unfix my hair and make my sheeted heart knock at my ribs against the use of nature? Present fears are less than horrible imaginings. My thought, whose murder yet is but fantastical, shakes, so my single state of man that function is smothered in surmise, and nothing is but what is not.
Look how our partner's rapt.
If chance will have me king, why chance may crown me without my stir.
New horrors come upon him like our strange garments cleave not to their mold, but with the aid of use.
Come what come may, time and hour run through the roughest day.
Worthy Macbeth, we stay upon your leisure.
Give me your favor. My dull brain was wrought with things forgotten. Let us toward the king. Think upon what hath chanced, and at more time, the interim having waited, let us speak our free hearts each to other.
Very gladly.
Till then, enough. Come, friends.
Is execution done on
I
Cawdor?
have spoke with one that saw him die, who did report that very frankly he confessed his treasons, implored your highness's pardon, and set forth a deep repentance. Nothing in his life became him like the leaving it.
He was a gentleman, on whom I built an absolute trust. Oh, worthiest cousin, the sin of my ingratitude even now weighs heavy on me. Were out thou so far, before the swiftest wing of recompense is slow to overtake thee, would thou hadst less deserved, that the proportion both of thanks and payment might have been mine. Only I have left to say, more is thy due than more than all can pay.
The service and the loyalty I owe in doing it pays itself. Your Highness' part is to receive our duties, and our duties are to your throne and children and servants, which do but what they should by doing everything, save toward your love and honor.
Welcome hither. I have begun to plant thee, and will labor to make thee full of growing. Noble Banquo, that hast no less deserved, more must be known, no less to have done so. Let me unfold thee, and hold thee to my heart.
There if I grow, the harvest is your own.
My plenteous joys, wanton in fullness, seek to hide themselves in drops of sorrows. Sons, kinsmen, thanes, and you whose places are nearest, know we shall establish our estate upon our eldest, Malcolm, whom we name hereafter the Prince of Cumberland, which honor must, not unaccompanied, invest him only, but signs of nobleness like stars shall shine on all deservers. From hence to Inverness, and bind us further to you.
The rest is labor, which is not used for you. I'll be myself the harbinger, and make joyful the hearing of my wife with your approach. So humbly take my leave. The Prince of Cumberland. That is a step on which I must fall down or else o'erleap, for in my way it lies. Stars, hide your fires. Let not light seem my black and deep desires. The eye wink at the hand, yet let that be, which the eye fears when it is done to see.
They met me in the day of success, and I have learned by the perfectest report they have more in them than mortal knowledge. When I burned in desire to question them further, they made themselves air, into which they vanished. Whilst I stood wrapped in the wonder of it, came missives from the king, who all hailed me Thane of Cawdor, by which title before these weird sisters saluted me, and referred me to the coming on of time with Hail, King that shalt be! This have I thought good to deliver thee, my dearest partner of greatness, that thou mightest not lose the dues of rejoicing by being ignorant of what greatness is promised thee. Lay it to thy heart, and farewell. Glams thou art in Cawdor, and shalt be what thou art promised. Yet do I fear thy nature. It is too full o' the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. Thou wouldest be great, art not without ambition, but without illness should attend it. What thou wouldest highly, that wouldest thou wholly, wouldest not play false, and yet wouldest wrongly win. Thou wouldest have great glams, that which cries, thus thou must do if thou have it, and that which rather thou dost fear to do, than wishes should be undone. Hie thee hither, that I may pour my spirits in thine ear, and chastise with the valor of my tongue all that impedes thee from the golden round, which fate and metaphysical aid doth seem to have thee crowned withal. What is your tidings?
Tonight.
Thou art mad to say it! Is not thy master with him? Who, were it so, would have informed of preparation?
So please you, it is true. Our Thane is coming.
Give him tending, he brings great news. The raven himself is hoarse that croaks the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts, unsex me here, and fill me from the crown to the toe-top full of direst cruelty. Make thick my blood, stop up the access and passage to remorse, that no compunctious visitings of nature shake my fell purpose, nor keep peace between the effect and it. Come to my woman's breasts, and take my milk for gall, you murdering ministers. Wherever in your sightless substances you wait on nature's mischief, come, thick night, and pall thee in the dunnest smoke of hell, that my keen knife see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peep through the blanket of the dark to cry, hold, hold! Great Glums, worthy Cawdor, greater than both, by all hail hereafter. Thy letters have transported me beyond this ignorant present, and I feel the future now in its instinct.
My dearest love, Duncan comes here tonight.
And when goes hence?
Tomorrow, as he purposes.
Oh, never shall sun that morrow see. Your face, my Thane, is as a book where men may read strange matters. Speak all the time, look like the time, bear welcome in your eye. Your hand, your tongue, look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. He that's coming must be provided for, and you shall put this night's great business into my dispatch, which shall to all our nights and days to come give solely sovereign sway and masterdom.
We will speak further.
Only look up clear. To alter favor ever is to fear. Leave all the rest to me.
This castle hath a pleasant seat. The air nimbly and sweetly recommends itself unto our gentle senses. See, our honored hostess. Where is the Thane of Cawdor? We coursed him at his heels and had a purpose to be his purveyor, but he rides well, and his great love, sharp as his spurs, hath holpen him to his home before us. Fair and noble hostess, we are your guests tonight.
Your servants ever have theirs themselves, and what is theirs in compt, to make their audit at your highness's pleasure, still to return your own.
Give me your hand, conduct me to mine host, we love him highly, and shall continue our graces toward him. By your leave, hostess.
If it were done when 'tis done, then 'twere well it were done quickly. If the assassination could trammel up the consequence, and catch with his decreased success, that but this blow might be the be-all and the end-all here. But here, upon this bank and shoal of time, we jump the life to come. But in these cases we still have judgment here, that we but teach bloody instructions, which, being taught, return to plague the inventor. This even-handed justice commends the ingredients of our poisoned chalice to our own lips. He's here in double trust. First, as I'm his kinsman and his subject, strong both against the deed. Then as his host, who should against his murderer shut the door, not bear the knife myself. Besides, this Duncan hath borne his faculties so meek, hath been so clear in his great office, that his virtues will plead like angels, trumpet-tongued against the deep damnation of his taking off, and pity, like a naked newborn babe, striding the blast, or heaven's cherubim horsed upon the sightless corries of the air, shall blow the horrid deed in every eye, that tears shall drown the wind. I have no spur to prick the sides of my intent, but only vaulting ambition, which o'erleaps itself and falls on the other. Oh, how now? What news?
He is almost supped. Why have you left the chamber?
Hath he asked for me?
Know you not he has?
We will proceed no further in this business. He hath honored me of late, and I have bought golden opinions from all sorts of people, which should be worn now in their newest gloss, not cast aside so soon.
Was the hope drunk wherein you dressed yourself? Hath it slept since, and wakes it now to look so green and pale at what it did so freely? From this time such I account thy love. Art thou afeard to be the same in thine own act and valor as thou art in desire? Wouldst thou have that which thou esteem'st the ornament of life, and live a coward in thine own esteem, letting I dare not, wait upon I would, like the poor cat in the adage?
Oh, prithee, peace. I dare do all that may become a man. Who dares do more is none.
What beast was it then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man. And to be more than what you were, you would be so much more the man. Nor time, nor place did then adhere, and yet you would make both. They have made themselves, and that their fitness now does and make you. I have given suck, and know how tender 'tis to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from its boneless gums and dashed the brains out, had I so sworn as you have done to this.
If we should fail...
We fail! But screw your courage to stick in place, and we shall not fail. When Duncan is asleep, where to the rat shall his day's hard journey soundly invite him? His 2 chamberlains will I with wine and wassail so convince that memory, the water of the brain, shall be a fume, and the receipt of reason a limbic only, when in swinish sleep their drenched natures lie as in a death. What cannot you and I perform upon the unguarded Duncan? Would not put upon his spongy officers, who shall bear the guilt of our great quell.
Oh, bring forth men children only, for thy undaunted medal should compose nothing but males. Will it not be received, when we have marked with blood those sleepy 2 of his own chamber, and used their very daggers that they have done it?
Who dares receive it other, as we shall make our griefs and clamor roar upon his death?
I am settled, and bend up each corporal agent to this terrible feat. Away, and mock the time with fairest show. False face must hide what the false heart doth know.
How goes the night, boy?
The moon is down. I've not heard the clock.
And she goes down at 12.
I take 'tis later, sir.
Heavy summons lies like lead upon me, and I would not sleep. Merciful powers, restrain me in the cursed thoughts that nature gives way to in repose. Give me my sword. Who's there?
A friend.
What, sir, not yet at rest? The king's abed. He hath been an unusual pleasure, and sent forth a great largesse to your offices.
Being unprepared, our will became the servant to defect, which else should have free wrought.
All's well. I dreamt last night of the 3 weird sisters. To you they've showed some truth.
I think not of them. Yet, when we can entreat an hour to serve, we would spend it in some words upon that business, if you would grant the time.
At your kindest leisure.
If you shall cleave to my consent, when 'tis it shall make honor for you.
So I lose none in seeking to augment it, but still keep my bosom franchised and allegiance clear. I shall be counseled.
Good repose the while.
Thanks, sir, the like to you.
Go bid thy mistress. When my drink is ready, she strike upon the bell. Get thee to bed. Is this a dagger which I see before me? The handle toward my hand? Come, let me clutch thee. I have thee not, and yet I see thee still. Art thou not a fatal vision sensible to feeling as to sight? Or art thou but a dagger of the mind, a false creation proceeding from the heat-oppressed brain? But I see thee yet, in form as palpable as this which now I draw. Thou marshalest me the way I was going, and such an instrument I was to use. Mine eyes are made the fools o'er the other senses, where else were all the rest? I see thee still, and on my blade and dungeon gouts of blood, which was not so before. There's no such thing. It is the bloody business which informs thus to mine eyes. Thou sure and firm-set earth, hear not my steps, which way they walk, for fear thy very stones prate of my whereabout, and take the present horror from the time, which now suits with it. Well, I threat he lives. Words to the heat of deeds to cold breath gives. I go, and it is done. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is a knell that summons thee to heaven or to hell.
That which hath made them drunk hath made me bold. What hath quenched them hath given me fire. Hark! Peace! It was the owl that shrieked. The fatal bellman, which gives the stern good night. He is about it. The doors are open, and the surfeited grooms do mark their charge with snores. I have drugged their posits, that death and nature do contend about them, whether they live or die.
Who's there? What? Oh!
Alack, I am afraid they have awaked. It is not done. The attempt and not the deed confounds us. Hark! I laid their daggers ready. He could not miss him. Had he not resembled my father as he slept, I had done it. My husband.
I have done the deed. Dost thou not hear a noise?
I heard the owl scream and the crickets cry. Do not you speak?
When?
Now.
As I descended?
I.
Oh, hark, this is a sorry sight.
A foolish thought to say a sorry sight.
There's one did laugh in his sleep, and one cried murder, that they did wake each other. I stood and heard them, but they did say their prayers and addressed them again to sleep.
There are two lodged together.
One cried, God bless us, and amen the other, as they had seen me with these hangman hands. Listening their fear, I could not say amen when they did say God bless us.
Consider it not so deeply.
But wherefore could I not pronounce amen? I had most need of blessing, and amen stuck in my throat.
These deeds must not be thought after these ways, so it will make us mad.
Well, methought I heard a voice cry, sleep no more, Macbeth. Does murder sleep, the innocent sleep, sleep that knits up the ravelled sleeve of care, the death of each day's life, sore labour's bath, balm of hurt minds, great nature's second course, chief nurturer in life's feast.
What do you mean?
Oh, but still it cried. Sleep no more. To all the house, Glamis hath murdered sleep, and therefore Cawdor shall sleep no more. Macbeth shall sleep no more.
Who was it that thus cried? Why, worthy Thane, you do unbend your noble strength, to think so brain-sickly of things. Go, get some water and wash this filthy witness from your hand. Why did you bring the daggers from the place? They must lie there. Go carry them and smear the sleepy grooms with blood.
I'll go no more. I'm afraid to think of what I have done. Look on it again, I dare not.
Infirm of purpose, give me those daggers. The sleeping and the dead but are as pictures. 'Tis the eye of childhood that fears a painted devil. If ye do bleed, I'll gild the faces of the grooms withal, for it must seem their guilt.
Whence is that knocking? How is it with me when every noise appalls me? What hands are here? Oh, they pluck out mine eyes. Will all great Neptune's oceans wash this blood clean from my hand? No. Ish, my hand will rather multitudinous seas incarnate, making the green one red.
My hands are of your color, but I shame to wear a heart so white. I hear a knocking at the south entry. Retire we to our chamber. A little water clears us of this deed. How easy is it then? Your constancy hath left you unattended. Hark, more knocking. Get on your nightgown, lest occasion call us, and show us be watchers. Be not lost so poorly in your thoughts.
Oh, to know my deed, 'twere best not to know myself. Awake, Duncan, with thy knocking, I would thou couldest.
Here's a knocking indeed. If a man were poured at a hellgate, he should have old turning the key. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there, in the name of Beelzebub? He is a farmer that hanged himself on the expectation of plenty. Come in time. Have napkin enough about you. Here, you'll sweat for it. Knock, knock. Who's there? In the other devil's name? Faith, here's an equivocator that could swear in both the scales against either scale, who committed treason enough for God's sake, yet could not equivocate to heaven. Oh, come in, equivocator. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? Faith, here's an English tailor come hither for stealing out of a French hose. Come in, tailor. Here you may roast your goose. Knock, knock. Never at quiet. What are you? But this place is too cold for hell. I'll devil porter it no further. I had thought to let in some of all professions that go the primrose way of the everlasting bonfire. Anon, I pray you, remember the porter.
Was it so late, friend, ere you went to bed, that you do lie so late?
Faith, sir, we are carousing till the second cock, and drink, sir, is a great provoker of 3 things.
What 3 things does drink especially provoke?
Marry, sir, nose painting, sleep, and urine. It provokes and unprovokes. It provokes the desire, but it takes away the performance. Therefore, much drink may be said to be an equivocator with lechery. It makes him, and it mars him. It sets him on, and it takes him off. It persuades him and disheartens him, makes him stand to and not stand to. In conclusion, equivocates him into sleep, and giving him the lie, leaves him.
I believe drink gave thee the lie last night.
That it did, sir, in the very throat on me. But I requited him for his lie, and I think, being too strong for him, though he took up my legs some time, yet I made a shift to cast him.
Is thy master stirring? Our knocking has awakened him. Here he comes.
Good morrow, noble sir.
Good morrow, both.
Is the king stirring, worthy Thane?
Not yet.
He did command me to call timely on him. I have almost slipped the hour.
I'll bring you to him.
I know this is a joyful trouble to you, but yet 'tis one.
Ah, the labor we delight in physics pain. This is the door.
I'll make so bold to call, for 'tis my limited service.
Goes the king hence today?
He does. He did appoint so.
The night has been unruly. Where we lay, our chimneys were blown down, and as they say, labyrinths heard in the air strange screams of death, and prophesying with accents terrible of dire convulsions and confused events. New hatched to the woeful time. The obscure bird clamored the livelong night. Some say the earth was feverish and did shake.
'Twas a rough night.
Oh, horror, horror, horror! Tongue nor heart cannot conceive nor name thee.
What's the matter?
Confusion hath now made his masterpiece. Most sacrilegious murder hath broke ope the Lord's anointed temple, and stole thence the life of the building.
Well, what did you say, the life?
Mean you his majesty?
Approach the chamber, and destroy your sight with the new Gorgon. Do not bid me speak. See, and then speak yourselves. Awake! Awake! Ring the alarm bell! Murder and treason! Banquo and Donalbain! Malcolm! Awake! Shake off this downy sleep, death's counterfeit, and look on death itself! The great doom's image. Malcolm and Banquo! As from your graves rise up, and walk like sprites to countenance this horror! Ring the bell!
What the business that such a hideous trumpet calls to parley the sleepers of the house? Speak, speak!
Oh, gentle lady, 'tis not for you to hear what I can speak. Oh, Banquo, our royal master's murdered.
Whoa! Alas! What, in our house?
Too cruel anywhere. Dear Duff, I prithee contradict thyself. Say it is not so.
Had I but died an hour before this chance, I had lived a blessed time. For from this instant, there's nothing serious in mortality. All is but toys. Renown and grace is dead. The wine of life is drawn, and the mere lees is left this vault to brag of.
What is a myth?
You are, and do not know it. The spring, the head, the fountain of your blood is stopped. The very source of it is stopped.
Your royal father's murdered.
Oh. By whom?
Those of his chambers, as it seemed, had done it. Their hands and face were bathed with blood. So were their daggers, which unripe we found upon their pillows. They stared and were distracted. No man's life was to be trusted with them.
Oh, yet I do repent me of my fury that I did kill them.
Wherefore did you so?
Who can be wise, amazed, temperate, and furious, loyal and neutral in a moment? No man. The expedition, my violent love, outrun the pauser, reason. Here lay Duncan, his silver skin laced with his golden blood, and his gash stabs looked like a breach in nature for ruin's wasteful entrance. There, the murderers, steeped in the colors of their trade, their daggers unmannerly breached with gore. Who could refrain that had a heart to love, and in that heart courage to make loves known?
Help me, handsome!
Look to the lady.
When we have our naked frailties hid and suffer an exposure, let us meet and question this most bloody piece of work to know it further. Fears and scruples shake us. In the great hand of God I stand, and thence against the undivulged pretense I fight of treasonous malice.
And so do I.
So all.
Let's briefly put on manly readiness and meet in the hall together.
Well contended.
What will you do? Let's not consort with them to show an unfelt sorrow is an office which the false man does easy. I will to England.
To Ireland our separated fortune shall keep us both the safer. Where we are, there are daggers and men's smiles. The nearer in blood, the nearer bloody.
This murderous shaft that shot hath not yet lighted, and our safest way is to avoid the aim. Therefore, to horse, and let us not be dainty of leave-taking, but shift away. There's warrant in that theft which steals itself when there's no mercy left.
How goes the world, sir, now?
Why, see you not?
Is't known who did this more than bloody deed?
Those that Macbeth hath slain.
Alas, the day, what good could they pretend?
They were suborned. Malcolm and Donalbain, the king's two sons, are stolen away and fled, which puts upon them suspicion of the deed.
'Gainst nature still, thriftless ambition that will raven up thine own life's means. Then 'tis most like the sovereignty will fall upon Macbeth.
He is already named and gone to Scone to be invested, predecessors and guardian of their bones.
Will you to Scone?
No, cousin. I'll to Fife.
Then I will thither.
Well, may you see things well done there. Adieu. Lest our old robes sit easier than our new.
Thou hast it now. King, cotter, glamps, all. As the weird women promised, and I fear thou playedst most foully for it. Yet it was said it should not stand in thy posterity, but that myself should be the root and father of many kings. There come truth from them, as upon thee, Macbeth, their speeches shine. Why, by the verities on thee made good, may they not be my oracles as well, and set me up in hope? But hush, no more.
Here's our chief guest.
If he had been forgotten, it has been as a gap in our great feast, in all thing unbecoming.
Tonight we hold a solemn supper, sir, and I'll request your presence.
Let your highness command upon me, to thee which my duties are most indissoluble tie forever knit.
Ride you this afternoon?
Aye, my good lord.
We should have else desired your good advice, which still hath been both grave and prosperous in this day's council, but we'll take tomorrow. Is far you ride?
As far, my lord, as will fill up the time twixt this and supper. Go not my horse the better, I must become a borrower of the night for an hour dark or twain.
Well, fail not our feast.
My lord, I will not.
We hear our bloody cousins are bestowed in England and in Ireland, not confessing their cruel parricide, filling their hears with strange invention, but of that tomorrow, when therewithal we shall have cause of state craving us jointly. Tie you to horse, adieu, till you return at night. Goes Fleance with you?
Aye, my good lord. Our time does call upon us.
Well, I wish your horses swift and sure of foot, and so I do commend you to their backs. Farewell. Let every man be master of his time till 7 at night, to make society the sweeter welcome. We will keep ourselves till supper time alone. Well then, God be with you. Sirrah, a word with you. Attend those men our pleasure.
They are, my lord, without the palace gate.
Bring them before us. To be thus is nothing, but to be safely thus. Our fears in Banquo stick deep, and in his royalty of nature reigns that which would be feared. 'Tis much he dares, and to that dauntless temper of his mind he hath a wisdom that doth guide his valor to act in safety. There is none but he whose being I do fear. And under him my genius is rebuked, as it is said Mark Antony's was by Caesar. He chid the sisters, and first they put the name of king upon me, and bade them speak to him. Then, prophet-like, they hailed him father to a line of kings. Upon my head they placed a fruitless crown, and put a barren scepter in my grip. Thence to be wrenched with an lineal hand, no son of mine succeeding. If it be so, for Banquo's issue have I filled my mind. For them, the gracious Duncan, have I murdered. Put rancors in the vessel of my peace, only for them. And mine eternal jewel given to the common enemy of man, to make them kings, the seed of Banquo kings. Rather than so, come fate into the list, and champion me to the utterance. Who's there? Now, go to the door, and stay there till we call. Was it not yesterday we spoke together?
It was, so please your highness.
Both of you know Banquo was your enemy?
True, my lord.
So is he mine, and in such bloody distance that every minute of his being thrusts against my nearest of life, and though I could, with barefaced power, sweep him from my sight and bid my will avouch it, yet, I must not. For certain friends that are both his and mine, whose loves I may not drop, but wail his fall, who I myself struck down, and thence it is that I to your assistance do make love, making the business from the common eye for sundry weighty reasons.
We shall, my lord, perform what you command us.
Though our lives...
Your spirits shine through you. Within this hour at most, I will advise you where to plant yourselves, acquaint you with the perfect spy o' the time, the moment on, for it must be done tonight. And something from the palace always thought that I required a clearness, and with him to leave no rubs nor botches in the work. Fleance, his son, that keeps him company, whose absence is no less material to me than is his father, must embrace the fate of that dark hour. Resolve yourselves apart. I'll come to you anon.
We are resolved, my lord.
I'll call upon you straight. Abide within. It is concluded, Banquo. thy soul's flight. If it find heaven, must it find out tonight?
Not sad, all spent, where our desires got without content. 'Tis safer to be that which we destroy than by destruction dwell in doubtful joy. How now, my lord? Why do you keep alone? Sorriest fancies your companions making, using those thoughts which should indeed have died with them they think on. Things without all remedy should be without regard. What's done is done.
Oh, we have scotched the snake, not killed it. She'll close and be herself, whilst our poor malice remains in danger of her former tooth. But let the frame of things disjoint, both the world suffer ere we will eat our meal in fear and sleep in the affliction of these terrible dreams that shake us nightly. Better we with the dead, whom we, to gain our peace, have sent to peace, than on the torture of the mind to lie in restless ecstasy. Duncan is in his grave. After life's fitful fever, he sleeps well. Treason has done his worst. Nor steel, nor poison, malice domestic, foreign levy, nothing can touch him further.
Come on, gentle my lord, sleek o'er your rugged looks. Be bright and jovial upon your guest tonight.
So shall I, love. And so, I pray, be you. Let your remembrance apply to Banquo. Present him eminence, both with eye and tongue, unsafe the while that we must lave our honors in these flattering streams, and make our faces vizards to our hearts, disguising what they are.
You must leave this.
Oh, full of scorpions is my mind, dear wife. Thou knowest that Banquo and his Fleance lives.
But in them nature's copies not a turn.
There's comfort yet. They are assailable. Then be thou jocund, ere the bat hath flown his cloistered flight, there shall be done a deed of dreadful note.
What's to be done?
Be innocent of the knowledge, dearest Chuck, till thou applaud the deed. Come, sealing night, scarf up the tender eye of pitiful day, and with thy bloody and invisible hand cancel and tear to pieces that great bond which keeps me pale. Light thickens, and the crow makes wing to the rooky wood. Good things of day begin to droop and drowse, while night's black agents to the prey do rouse. Thou marvelest at my words, but hold thee still. Things bad begun make strong themselves by ill. So prithee, go with me.
A light, a light. 'Tis he.
Stand to it.
'Twill be rain tonight.
Let it come down.
Oh, treachery! Fly, good Fleance! Fly, fly, fly! Well, thou mayest revenge.
Who did strike out the light?
Was it not the way?
There's but one down. The sun is fled. We've lost best half of our affair.
Well, let's away, and say how much is done.
You know your own degrees. Sit down at first, and last the hearty welcome.
Thanks to your majesty.
Ourself will mingle with society and play the humble host. Our hostess keeps her state, but in best time we will require her welcome.
Pronounce it for me, sir, to all our friends. For my heart speaks, they are welcome.
See, they encounter thee with their heart's thanks. Both sides are even. Here, I'll sit the midst. Be large in mirth. Anon, we'll drink and measure the table round. There's blood on thy face.
'Tis Banquo's then.
Oh, 'tis better thee without than he within. Is he dispatched?
My lord, his throat is cut. That I did for him.
Oh, thou art the best of the cutthroats. Yet he's good. That did the like for Fleance. If thou didst, thou art the nonpareil.
Most royal, sir. Fleance is scaped.
Then goes my fit again. I had else been perfect, whole as the marble, founded as the rock, as broad and general as the casing air, but Now I am cabined, cribbed, confined, bound in to saucy doubts and fears, but Banquo safe.
My good lord safe in a ditch he bides.
Thanks for that. There the grown serpent lies, that he, worm that's fled, hath nature that in time will venom breed, no teeth for the present. Get thee gone. Tomorrow we'll hear ourselves again.
Aye, royal lord, you do not give the cheer.
Sweet remembrancer! Oh, now, good digestion, wait on appetite, and health on both.
May it please your highness, sit.
Here had we now our country's honor roofed, were the grace person of our Banquo present, whom may I rather challenge for unkindness than pity for mischance.
His absence, sir, lays blame upon his promise. Pleased your highness to grace us with your royal company.
The table's full.
Here's a place reserved, sir.
Where?
Here, my good lord, what is that moves your highness?
Which of you hath done this?
What, my good lord?
Oh, though thou canst not say I did it, never shake thy gory locks at me.
Gentlemen, rise. His highness is not well.
Sit, worthy friends, my lord is often thus, and hath been from his youth. Pray you, keep seat. The fit is momentary. Upon a thought, he will again be well. If much you note him, you shall offend him, and extend his passion. Feed and regard him not. Are you a man?
Oh, aye, and a bold one, that dare look on that which might appall the devil.
Oh, proper stuff. This is the very painting of your fear. This is the air-drawn dagger which you said led you to Duncan. Shame itself. Why do you make such faces? When all's done, you look but on a stool.
Oh, prithee, see there, behold, look low. Oh, how say you? Oh, what care I? If thou canst not, speak too.
What quite unending folly!
Oh, if I stand here, I saw him.
Fie for shame.
Blood hath been shed ere now, aye, olden time, ere human statue purged the gentle wheel. Aye, and since 2 murders have been performed, too terrible for the ear. The times have been that, when the brains were out, the men would die. And they're an end, but now they rise again, with 20 mortal murders on their crown, and push us from our stools. Oh, this is more strange than such a murder is.
My worthy lord, your noble friends do lack you.
I do forget. Do not muse at me, my most worthy friends. I have a strange infirmity, which is nothing to those that know me. Come, love and health to all, then I'll sit down. Give me some wine, fill full. I drink to the general joy of the whole table, and to our dear friend Banquo, whom we missed. Would he hear? Oh, to all and him we thirst, and all to all.
Our duties and the pledge.
Avaunt, and quit my sight! Let the earth hide thee. Thy bones are marrowless, thy blood is cold. Thou hast no speculation in those eyes which thou dost glare with.
Think of this, good peers. But as a thing of custom, 'tis no other, only it spoils the pleasure of the time.
Oh, what man dare? Oh, I dare. Approach thou like rugged Russian bear, the armed rhinoceros, or thy Hycurian tiger. Take any shape but that, and my firm nerve shall never tremble or be alive again. And dare me to the desert with thy sword. If trembling I inhabit then, protest me the baby of a girl. Hence, horrible shadow, unreal mockery, hence. Why so being gone? I am a man again, pray you, sit still.
You have displaced the mirth, broke the good meeting, with most admired disorder.
Can such things be and overcome us like a summer's cloud, without our special wonder? You make me strange, even to the disposition that I owe. Well, now I think you can behold such sights, and keep the natural ruby of your cheeks when mine is blanched with fear.
What sight, my lord?
I pray you, speak not. He grows worse and worse. Question enrages him. At once good night. Stand not upon the order of your going, but go at once.
Good night. In better health, attend his
A kind good night to all.
In better health.
Oh, it will have blood, they say. Blood will have blood. Stones have been known to move, and trees to speak. Augurs and understood relations have by magpies and chiefs and rooks brought forth the secretest man of blood. What is the night?
Almost at odds with morning. Which is which?
How sayest thou that Macduff denies his person at our great bidding?
Did you send him, sir?
I hear it, by the way. But I will send. There's not a one of them but in his house I keep a servant fed. I will tomorrow and bedtimes I will to the weird sisters. More shall they speak. For now I am bent to know by the worst means the worst, for mine own good, and all causes shall give way. I am in blood steeped in so far that should I wade no more, returning were as tedious as go o'er. Strange things I have in hand that will to hand, which must be acted ere they may be scanned.
You lack the season of all nature's sleep.
Oh, come, we'll to sleep. My strange and self-abuse is the initiate fear that wants hard use. We are but young indeed.
Thrice the brinded cat hath mewed.
Thrice and once the hedge pig whined.
Happier cries, 'tis time, 'tis time.
Round about the cauldron go.
In the poison entrails throw.
Who the undercold stone.
Days and nights has 31.
Sweltered venom sleeping got.
Boil the first in the charmed pot.
Double, double toil and trouble.
Fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Fillet of a fenny snake.
In the cauldron boil and bake.
Eye of newt and toe of frog.
Will of bat and ton of dog.
Adder's fork and blindworm sting.
Lizard's lip and owlet's wing.
For a charm of powerful trouble.
Like a hell broth boil and bubble.
Double, double toil and trouble.
Fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Cool it with the baboon's blood.
Then the charm is firm and good.
By the pricking of my thumb, something wicked this way comes. Open locks, whoever knocks.
Now, you secret black and midnight hags, what is't you do?
A deed without a name.
I conjure you by that which you profess. How are you come to know it? Answer me to what I ask you.
Speak.
Demand.
We'll answer.
Say if thou'st rather hear it from our mouths or from our masters.
Call him. Let me see him.
Corin sow's blood, that hath eaten her 9 pharaoh. Grease that's sweatin' from the murder's gibbet, throw into the flame.
Come, high or low, thyself in office deftly show. He knows thy thought. Hear his speech, but say not thou not.
Macbeth, 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 beware Macduff, beware the Thane of Fife, dismiss me enough.
Macbeth, Macbeth, Macbeth!
Had I 3 ears, I'd hear thee.
Be bloody, bold, and resolute. Laugh to scorn the power of man, for none of women born shall harm Macbeth.
Then live Macduff. What need I fear of thee? But yet I'll make assurance double sure, and take a bond of fate. Thou shalt not live, that I may tell pale-hearted fear it lies, and sleep in spite of thunder.
Macbeth shall never vanquished be until great Burnham Wood to high Dunsinane Hill shall come against him.
That will never be. Who can impress the forest? Bid the tree unfix his earthbound root. Oh, sweet bodements, good rebellion said, rise never till the wood of Burmans rise, and our high-placed Macbeth shall leave the lease of nature, pay his breath to time and mortal custom. Yet my heart throbs to know one thing. Tell me if your art can tell so much. Shall Banquo's issue ever reign in this kingdom?
Seek to know no more.
I will be satisfied. Deny me this, and an eternal curse fall on you. Let me know.
Show.
Show.
Show. Show his eyes.
And grieve his heart.
Come like shadows, so depart.
Thou art too like the spirit of Banquo. Down! Thy crown doth sear mine eyeballs, and thy hair, thou other gold-bound brow, is like the first. The third is like the former, filthy hags! Why do you show me this? A fourth, stark eyes? Oh, what will the line stretch out to the crack of doom? Another yet, a seventh, I'll see no more. And yet the eighth appears, who bears a glass, which shows me many more. And some I see, oh, horrible sight, now I see 'tis true, for the blood-bouldered Banquo smiles upon me, and points at them for his. What is this so? Where are they gone? Let this pernicious hour stand I accursed in the calendar. Come in without there.
What is your grace will?
Saw you the weird sisters?
No, my lord.
Came they not by you?
No, indeed, my lord.
Oh, infected be the air whereon they ride, and damned all those that trust them. I did hear the galloping of horses. Who else came by?
Just 2 or 3, my lord. They bring you word Macduff is fled to England.
Fled to England?
Aye, my good lord.
Time thou anticipatest my dread exploits. The flighty purpose never is or took, unless the deed go with it. From this moment the very firstlings of my heart shall never be the firstlings of my hand. And even now the crown of my thoughts will axe, be with it thought and done. The castle of Macduff I will surprise, seize upon Fife, give the edge of the sword his wife, his babes, and all unfortunate souls that trace him in his line. No boasting like a fool. This deed I'll do before this purpose cool. But no more sights. Where are these gentlemen? Come, bring me where they are.
What had he done to make him fly the land?
You must have patience, madame.
He had none. His flight was madness when our actions do not. Our fears do make us traitors.
You know not whether it was his wisdom or his fear.
Wisdom? To leave his wife, to leave his babes, his mansion and his titles in a place from whence himself does fly? He loves us not. All is the fear and nothing is the love. As little is the wisdom where the flight so runs against all reason.
My dearest coz, I pray you, school yourself. But as for your husband, he is noble, wise, judicious, and best knows the fits o' the season. I dare not speak much further, but cruel are the times when we are traitors and do not know ourselves, when we hold rumor from what we fear, yet know not what we fear, but float upon a wild and violent sea, each way and move. I take my leave of you. Shall not be long, but I'll be here again. Things at worst will cease, or else climb upward to what they were before. My pretty cousin, blessing upon you.
Father he is, and yet he's fatherless.
I am so much a fool. Should I stay longer, it would be my disgrace and your discomfort. I take my leave at once.
Was my father a traitor, Mother?
Aye, that he was.
What is a traitor?
Why, one that swears and lies.
And be all traitors that do so?
Every one that does so is a traitor and must be hanged.
And must they all be hanged that swear and lie?
Every one.
Who must hang them?
Why, the honest men.
Then the liars and swearers are fools, for there are liars and swearers enow to beat the honest men and hang up them.
Now God help thee, poor monkey, but how wilt thou do for a father?
Bless you, fair dame. I am not to you know, though in your state and honor I am perfect. I doubt some danger does approach you nearly. If you would take a homely man advice, to be found here, hence with your little ones. To fright you thus, methinks I am too savage. To do worse to you were feel cruelty, which is too nigh your person. Heaven preserves you. I dare abide no longer.
Whether I should fly, I have world where to do harm is often laudable, to do good sometime accounted dangerous folly. Why then, alas, do I put up what womanly defense to say that I have done no harm? What are these faces?
Where is your husband?
I hope in no place so unsanctified where such as thou mayst find him.
He's a traitor.
Thou liest, thou shag-haired villain!
What, you egg? Young fry of treachery.
He has killed me, Mother. Run away, I pray you.
Let us seek out some desolate shade, and there weep our sad bosoms empty.
Let us rather hold fast the mortal sword, and like good men bestride our downfall and birthdom. Each new morn, new widows howl, new orphans cry, new sorrow strike heaven on the face, that it resounds as if it felt with Scotland, and yelled out like syllable of dolor.
What I believe I'll wail, what no believe, and what I can redress, as I shall find the time to, friend, I will. What you have spoke, it may be so perchance. This tyrant, whose sole name blisters our tongues, was once thought honest, and you have loved him well. He hath not touched you yet. I am young, but something you may deserve of him through me, and wisdom to offer up a weak, poor, innocent lamb to appease an angry God.
I am not treacherous.
But Macbeth is. A good and virtuous nature may recoil in an imperial charge. But I shall crave your pardon. That which you are my thoughts cannot transpose. Angels are bright still, though the brightest fell. Though all things foul would wear the brows of grace, yet grace must still look so.
I have lost my hope.
Perchance even there, where I did find my doubts. Why, in that rawness left you wife and child, those precious motives, those strong knots of love, without leave-taking? I pray you, let not my jealousies be your dishonors, but mine own safeties. You may be rightly just, whatever I shall think.
Bleed, bleed, poor country! Great tyranny, lay thou thy basest shore, for goodness dare not check thee. Where thou thy wrongs, the title is afeard. Fare thee well, lord. I would not be the villain that thou thinkst, for the whole space that's in that tyrant's grasp, and the rich east to boot.
Be not offended. I speak not as in absolute fear of you. I think our country sinks beneath the yoke. It weeps, it bleeds, and each new day a gash is added to her wounds. I think withal there would be hands uplifted in my right, and here from gracious England have I offer of goodly thousands. But for all this, now we'll together, and the chance of goodness be like our unwarranted quarrel. Why are you silent?
Such welcome and unwelcome things at once. 'Tis hard to reconcile. See who comes here.
My countryman, but yet I know him not.
My ever gentle cousin. Welcome hither.
I know him now. Good God, be time to remove the means that make us strangers.
Sir, amen.
Stand Scotland where it did.
Alas, poor country, almost afraid to know itself. It cannot be called our mother, but our grave, where nothing but who knows nothing is once seen to smile, where sighs and groans and shrieks that rend the air are made, not marked, where violent sorrow seems a modern ecstasy. The dead man's knell is there scarce asked for who, and good men's lives expire before the flowers in their caps, dying or ere they sicken.
Oh, relation. Too nice and yet too true.
What's the newest grief?
That of an hour's age doth hiss the speaker. Each minute seems a new one.
How does my wife?
Why, well.
And all my children?
Well, too.
The tyrant has now battered at their peace?
No, they were well at peace when I did leave them. Now is the time of your help. Your eye in Scotland would create soldiers, make our women fight to doff their dire distresses.
Be it their comfort, we are coming thither. Gracious England hath lent us 10,000 men.
Would I could answer this comfort with the like, but I have words that would be howled out in the desert air, where hearing should not latch them.
What concern they? The general cause? Or is it a fee grief due to some single breast?
No mind that's honest, but in it shares some woe. Though the main part pertains to you alone.
If it be mine, keep it not from me. Quickly, let me have it.
Let not your ears despise my tongue forever, which shall possess them with the heaviest sound that ever yet they heard.
Ugh, I guess at it.
Your castle is surprised. Your wife and babes savagely slaughtered. To relate the manner, where on the quarry of these murdered deer, to add the death of you.
Merciful heaven.
My children, too?
Wife, children, servants, all that could be found.
And I must be from thence. My wife killed too.
I have said.
Be comforted. Let's make us medicine of our great revenge to cure this deadly grief.
He has no children. All my pretty ones. Did you say all? Oh, Hellkite, all. What, all my pretty chickens and their dam at one fell swoop?
Dispute it like a man.
I shall do so. I must also feel it as a man. I cannot but remember such things were that were most precious to me. Did heaven look on and would not take their part? Sinful Macduff, they were struck for thee. Not that I am, not for their own demerits, but for mine. Fell slaughter on their souls. Heaven rest them now.
Be this the whetstone of your sword. Let grief convert to anger. Blunt not the heart. Enrage it.
Oh, I could play the woman with mine eyes and braggart with my tongue. Gentle heavens, cut short all intermission. Front to front, Bring thou this fiend of Scotland and myself within my sword's length set him. If he escape, heaven forgive him too.
Come, go we to the king. Our power is ready. Our lack is nothing but our leave. Macbeth is ripe for shaking, and the powers above put on their instruments. Receive what cheer you may. The night is long that never finds the day.
When was it she last walked?
Since his majesty went into the field, I have seen her rise from her bed, throw her nightgown upon her, unlock her closet, take forth paper, fold it, write upon it, read it, afterwards seal it, and again return to bed. Yet all this while in most fast sleep.
A great perturbation in nature to receive at once the benefit of sleep and do the effects of watching. In this slumbery agitation, beside her walking and other actual performances, what, at any time, have you heard her say?
That, sir, which I will not report her after her.
You may to me, and 'tis most meet you should.
Neither to you, nor anyone, having witness to confirm my speech. Lo you, here she comes. This is her very guise, and upon my life fast asleep. Observe her, stand close.
You see, her eyes are open.
Aye, but their senses shut.
What is it she does now? Look, how she rubs her hands.
It is an accustomed action with her, to seem thus washing her hands. I have known her to continue in this a quarter of an hour.
Yet, here's a spot.
Hark, she speaks.
Out, damned spot, out, I say. 1, 2, why then, 'tis time to do it. Hell is murky. Fie, my lord, fie. A soldier, and feared. What need we fear who knows it, when none can call upon our power to account? Yet who would have thought the old man to have so much blood in him? The Thane of Fife had a wife. Where is she now? What will these hands nearer be clean? No more o' that, my lord, no more o' that. You mar all with this starting. Here's the smell of the blood still. All the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand. Oh, oh!
This disease is beyond my practice.
Wash your hands. Put on your nightgown. Look not so pale. I tell you yet again, Banquo's buried. He cannot come out on's grave. To bed! To bed! There's knocking at the gate. Come. Give me your hand. What's done cannot be undone. To bed! To bed! To bed!
Will she go now to bed?
Directly.
Foul whisperings are abroad. Unnatural deeds do breed unnatural troubles. Infected minds to their deaf pillows will discharge their secrets. More she needs the divine than the physician. God, forgive us all. Look after her. Remove her from the means of all annoyance, and still keep eyes upon her. So, good night. My mind she has mated and amazed my sights. I think, but dare not speak.
Good night, good doctor.
Bring me no more reports. Let them fly all, till Burnham Wood remove to Dunsinane. I cannot taint with fear. Oh, what's the boy Malcolm? Was he not born of woman? The spirits that know all mortal consequences have pronounced me thus. Fear not, Macbeth. No man that's born of woman shall e'er have power upon thee. Then fly, false thanes, and mingle with the English epicures. The mind I sway by and the heart I bear shall never sag with doubt nor shake with fear. The devil damn thee back, thou cream-faced loon. Where goest thou with that goose look?
There is 10,000.
Geese, villain!
Soldiers, sir.
Oh, go prick thy face and overread thy fear, thou lily-livered boy. What soldier's patch? Death of thy soul, those linen cheeks of thine are counselors to fear. What soldier's way face?
The English force, so please you.
Oh, take thy face hence. Seyton! I am sick at heart when I behold. Seyton, I say! This push will cheer me ever or deceit me now. I have lived long enough. My way of life is fallen to the seer. The yellow leaf and that which should accompany old age is honor, love, obedience, troops of friends. I must not look to have, but in their stead, curses, not loud, but deep, mouth on a breath which the poor heart would fain deny and dare not. Seyton!
What is your gracious pleasure?
What news more?
All is confirmed, my lord, which was reported.
I'll fight till from my bones my flesh be hacked. Give me my armor.
'Tis not needed yet.
I'll put it on. Send out more horses. Scour the country round. Hang those that talk of fear. Give me mine armor. How does your patient, doctor?
Not so sick, my lord, as she is troubled with thick-coming fancies that keep her from her rest.
Cure her of that. Canst thou not minister to a mind diseased? Pluck from the memory a rooted sorrow, raise out the written troubles of the brain, and with some sweet, oblivious antidote, cleanse the stuffed bosom of that perilous stuff which weighs upon the heart?
Therein the patient must minister to himself.
Oh, throw physic to the dogs. I'll none of it. Come, put mine armor on. Give me my staff. Seyton, send out. Doctor, the thanes fly from me. Come, sir, dispatch. If thou couldst, doctor, cast the water of my land, find her disease, and purge it to a sound and pristine health. I would applaud thee to the very echo. That should applaud again, pull it off. I say, what rhubarb cyme or what purgative drug would scour these English hens? Hearest thou of them?
Aye, my good lord. Your royal preparations make us hear something.
Ah, bring it after me. I will not be afraid of death and bane till Burnham Forest come to Dunsinane.
Were I from Dunsinane, away and clear, profit again should hardly draw me here.
What wood is this before us?
The wood of Burnham.
Let every soldier hew him down a bow, and bear it before him. Thereby shall we shadow the numbers of our host, and make discovery err in report of us.
It shall be done.
The time approaches that will with due decision make us know what we shall say we have, and what we owe. Thoughts speculative, their unsure hopes relate, but certain issue strokes must arbitrate towards which advance the war.
Hang out our banners on the outward walls. The cry is still they come. Our castle strength will laugh a siege to scorn. Here, let them lie, till famine and the ague eat them up. Were they not forced with those that should be ours, we might have met them dareful, beard to beard, and beat them backwards home. What is that noise?
It is the cry of woman, my good lord.
I have almost forgot the taste of fears. The time has been my senses would have cooled to hear a night shriek, and my fell of hair would at a dismal treatise rouse and stir, as life were in it. I have supped full with horrors. Direness, familiar to my slaughterous thoughts, cannot once start me. Wherefore was that cry?
The queen, my lord, is dead.
She should have died hereafter. There would have been time for such a word. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day to the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out! Out! Brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Thou comest to use thy tongue, thy story quickly.
Gracious, my lord, I should report that which I say I saw, but know not how to do it.
Will say, sir.
As I did stand my watch upon the hill, I looked towards Burnham, and anon, methought the wood began to move.
Liar and slave!
Let me endure your wrath, if it be not so. Within this 3 mile may you see it coming, I say, a moving grove.
If you speakest false, upon the next tree shalt thou hang alive, till famine cling thee. If thy speech be sooth, I care not if thou dost for me as much. I pull in resolution, and begin to doubt the evocation of the fiend that lies like truth. Fear not till Burnham Wood do come to Dunsinane, and now a wood comes toward Dunsinane. Arm, and out! If this which he avouches does appear, there is no flying hence nor tarrying here. I begin to be awary of the sun, and wish the estate the world were now undone. Ring the alarm bell, blow wind, come rack! At least we'll die with harness on our back.
Now, near enough. Your leafy screens throw down and show like those you are.
Make all our trumpets speak. Give them all breath. Those clamors, harbingers of blood and death.
Oh, they have tied me to a stake. I cannot fly, but bear-like, I must fight the course. Oh, what's he that was not born of woman? Such a one I am to fear, or none.
That way the noise is. Tyrant, show thy face. If thou beest slain, and with no stroke of mine, my wife and children's ghosts will haunt me still. I cannot strike at wretched kerns whose arms are hired to bear their staves. Either thou, Macbeth, or else my sword with an unbattered edge I sheath again undeeded. There thou shouldst be. By this great clatter, one of greatest note seems brooded. Let me find him fortune, and more I beg not.
Why should I play the Roman fool, and die on mine own sword? Whilst I see lives, the gashes do better upon them.
Turn, hellhound, turn.
Of all men else, I have avoided thee. But get thee back. My soul is too much charged with blood of thine already.
I have no words. My voice is in my sword. Thou bloodier villain, than terms can give thee out.
Oh, thou losest labor. As easy mayest thou the entrenchant air with thy keen sword impress, as make me bleed. Let fall thy blade on vulnerable chest. I bear a charmed life which must not yield to one of woman born.
To spare thy charm, and let the angel whom thou still hast served tell thee. Macduff was from his mother's womb untimely ripped.
Or cursed be that tongue that tells me so, for it hath cowed my better part of man, and be these juggling fiends no more believed, that platter with us in a double sense, that keep the word of promise to our ear and break it to our hope. I'll not fight with thee.
Then yield thee, coward, and live to be the show and gaze of the time. We'll have thee as our rarer monsters are, painted on a pole, and under it, here may you see the tyrant.
I will not yield. To kiss the ground before young Malcolm's feet, and to be baited with the rabble's curse through Burnham Wood, be come to Dunsinane, and thou opposed, being of no woman born. Yet I will try the last. Before my body I throw my warlike shield. Lay on, Macduff, and damned be him that first cries, hold, enough.
Hail, King! For so thou art. Behold where stands the usurper's cursed head. The time is free. I see thee compassed with thy kingdom's pearl, that speak my salutation in their minds, whose voices I desire aloud with mine. Hail, King of Scotland!
Hail, King of Scotland!
Hail, King of Scotland!
We shall not spend a large expense of time before we reckon with your several loves and make us even with you. My thanes and kinsmen henceforth be earls, the first that ever Scotland in such an honor named. What's more to do, which would be planted newly with the time, as calling home our exile friends abroad that fled the snares of watchful tyranny, producing forth the cruel ministers of this dead butcher and his fiend-like queen, who, as 'tis thought by self and violent hands, took off her life. This, and what needful else that calls upon us, by the grace of grace, we will perform in measure, time, and place. So, thanks to all at once, and to each one, whom we invite to see us crowned at Scone.
I'd like to thank everyone who watched. This was fun for us as much as it was fun for all of you at home. There should be links to theaters that you can donate to in the description down below this video. We appreciate your support, and that's a wrap, folks. We did it.
That's a wrap. I hope you see my face at the end of this.